Next question up here, and it says evaluate 3y to the power of 3, ooh, be careful there, minus 5y plus 8, where y equals 2. So that's exactly what I'll do. I'll replace this y right there with 2, and then I'll continue on. So we have 3 multiplied by 2, because that's y, and that's going to be to the power of 3 minus 5y plus 8. So I'm going to highlight this part right here because I'm going to take care of it over here on the side. So when I take care of it on the side, again, 2 to the power of 3, or anything to the power of 3 really, is going to be equal to that base number multiplied by itself this many times. So we're going to have 2 times 2 times 2, 3 times. That's where that number comes into play. So from here, we'll go ahead and have 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So there we are. We'll replace the 2 cubed, or 2 to the power of 3, with 8. So 3 times 8 minus, and then don't forget we have another 2 that we have to plug in for y right over here. So I'll just go ahead and do that right now. Another 2 right there. So 5 times 2 is just going to give us 10. And then we have the plus 8 at the end. Lastly, or next up, to finish things up, we just clean it up with multiplication, then subtraction and addition. So 3 times 8 gives us 24. Then minus 10 plus 8. Minus 10 gives us 14. And plus 8 puts us at 22. And there we are. Boom. The correct answer here is 22. And I want to just go ahead and point out one more thing before we move forward. So at this step right over here, I'll duplicate it. When we end up seeing minus 10 plus 8, you can actually take care of that first if you want to, and you can take care of this separately. Everyone, if I subtract 10 and I add 8, what is that the same as? Yeah, that's the same as negative 2, as minus 2. Because remember, if I subtract 10 and plus 8, really what we're doing is we're subtracting 10 and 8, and we'll keep the sign of the bigger number, which is negative for the negative 10. So that's minus 2. This right here becomes 24. And look at just a little bit of time that we can save. And when we get to the bigger problems, we'll see that it'll save us even more time. But nevertheless, the correct answer here is answer choice A. And there we are. On to the next one. And let's try this new problem out. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand what the goal is. Regardless of how complicated or simple a question looks, we always want to start by understanding the goal. So here's the goal. The goal is, what is the ratio of small to large? So what we want to have at the end of this all is we want small compared to large. All right? The problem that we have in this problem, or in this question here, is that when we read through the information, to get that comparison of small to large, what we first have to go through is, here we have the ratio of small to medium, and then we have the ratio of medium to large. So if you're sitting here saying, hey, I'm confused, I am looking for the ratio of small to large, but I don't see that. I see two kind of half ratios where we have small to medium being 4 to 7, and then we have medium to large being 9 to 2. And if you're trying to say, hey, can I just take this and overlap it? Can we do that, everybody? Is that going to work to just get a comparison of 4 to 2? Is that going to work out? No, it's not going to. That cannot work because, everybody, because when we do that, the overlapping value, the middleman, which is medium in this case, it's not the same. We have 7 and 9, they are not the same. So we have to do a little more work here, everybody. Everybody, one time real quick. Is it true that if I had the same middleman, if this number here and here, if they were the same, could I then overlap it? Could I then overlap it and be done? Absolutely. Yes. If I had that. So now that's what you want to think about. Because if you know that that's the point that you're trying to get to, then boom, Let's get to that point. Everybody, first question out of my mouth is going to be this. What is the number that we can multiply 7 and 9 to get to? What is the smallest number that 7 and 9 can both multiply up to? Yeah, it's going to be 63 because 7 is a prime number. 9 doesn't have anything in common with 7. So because they're prime number, or because 7 is prime and 9 has nothing to do with 7, multiply the numbers together. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me show you what that's going to look like over here. Everybody, help me out. 9 times 7 is what's going to give you 63. But if I'm going to do that on the left side, I'm going to have to do that on the right side. What's 2 times 7, everybody? That's going to be 14. Absolutely. So there we go. I have my medium to large. Let me write this in purple. My medium to large is going to be 63 to 14. Now, over here, for the small to medium, everybody, what am I multiplying the 7 by to get that 63? Multiplying by 9, absolutely. So let me grab a different color, and I'll multiply by 9 over here, and I'll have to do the same over there on the left. When I do that, 7 times 9, 63. 4 times 9, that gives me 36. So look at this. Let me take this now, move it over, because now we have our equivalent ratio. We just rewrote it in a different form. We basically simplified, but not really. And so with that said, everybody, can I overlap them now? Am I good? Or is the middleman the same number? Yeah, the middleman is the same. Take a look. It's 63 for both. Now, because we have that, we can make the jump. We can make the comparison. We can do that now. I'm going to compare small to large, which is going to be small to large, 36 to 14. There we go. Oh no, when we take a look, that's not quite there. 36 to 14 isn't there. What's the last step that I need to take? It's the same thing that we've been able to do. Simplify, reduce. Yes. Everybody, when we compare 36 and 14, what number can we simplify out of both 36 and 14? Yes, that'll be 2. Yep, that will be 2. When I divide 36 by 2 and divide 14 by 2, I'll now have my final answer, and that's going to be 18 to 7. And that will be answer choice B. And there we go. Again, we needed to make sure that the middleman, the compared ratio or value that basically connected the two things we wanted to compare, if we can make that the same number for both ratios, then we can compare the ratios directly. And there we go.